Hi, this is John Landis with TriMech, and in this tech tip, I'm going to show you some tools and techniques for saving time when selecting things in SOLIDWORKS assemblies. We select groups of components all the time for SOLIDWORKS assemblies for many different reasons: for suppression, visibility, appearance, or as references for mask properties or interference detection. Well, we have advanced selection tools that allow us to make mass selections of components based on certain logical criteria. The greatest thing is these tools are right under your cursor all the time. With a right click in the graphics area, I'm talking about the tools under the cursor icon. And this is where we find these advanced selection techniques. You'll also find them on your standard toolbar under the cursor icon. And finally, they're on your keyboard shortcut on the S key under that icon as well. Let's take a look at some of them. By simply selecting Select Suppressed, SOLIDWORKS will identify for us all the suppressed components across all of the assemblies and subassemblies, and we can then do something with that. We can unsuppress them, hide them, do something else that we want to do. I like the advanced technique of mated to. So with a selection of a component, we can say, show us and select all the components that are mated to the component that I just selected. This is a great technique for troubleshooting assemblies because now we know who's connected to whom. Here's another great technique for selecting components. You can pick all the identical components across subassemblies. They don't all have to be in the same subassembly by saying select identical components. And I pick it anywhere, and it selects all the instances of them across my entire assembly. And then I can hide or show them or do something with them all simultaneously. When we simplify assemblies in SOLIDWORKS, oftentimes we want to hide or suppress the components that are on the inside of that assembly. And we have a technique for that also. We can ask SOLIDWORKS to identify and select internal components in our assembly. Let me make this grill transparent so you can kind of see what's going on. Even though it's transparent, when we ask SOLIDWORKS to identify for us the internal components, what it does is it looks at the assembly from all 6 cardinal directions. It ignores the fact that the lid is transparent. Any components that are not visible in all of those 6 view orientations then becomes the set of components that are interior components. And now I can delete them, hide them, suppress them, etc. It's all based on the view orientations. One of the handiest tools I think we have is our advanced selection technique, and that is advanced component selection. You notice here at the bottom, we have an advanced select option. I'll talk about these presets here in a moment, but under our advanced select option, we can use conditional logic with some powerful capabilities to access SOLIDWORKS metadata. For example, find for me all the components in the assembly whose description might contain a particular value or not contain a particular value. Notice the conditional logic here. Another option might be to just identify for us all the components in this assembly that are sheet metal parts. And we can do that also by saying we're interested in the file types where the file type is equal to all of our sheet metal parts. And when I say apply, it picks those items in here as well. If you really like one of these searches and you want to get back to it again and again, you can save it as a favorite. And these are the favorites I have down here at the bottom of my list. For example, identify for me all the components in this assembly that are in the interior and have the metadata property of being consumables. And of course, that just lights up the charcoal briquettes. What do we do with these selection sets? Anything we want to. We can apply appearances, use them for references, for other functions. But one thing we want to do is get back to these selection sets again and again and again. And luckily for us, we can save any selection we see on the screen right now as a selection set that we can get back to again and again. Simply right-click, activate the new selection set option, and now we get an informational node in our tree with that selection set, and I can quickly and easily grab them for any type of operation that would require a group of components as a reference. I can add to the selection set, I can remove from the selection set, and the selection set stays with the model so the next person who opens it up will see the same selection sets that I do. This is John Landis from TriMech. I hope this tech tip has been helpful and saves you some time when creating selection sets in SOLIDWORKS assemblies. Thanks for watching.